So today we're talking about Bombshell, a film that is stacked on the cast: Charlize Theron, Margot Robbie, Nicole Kidman, John Lithgow. This is a movie that is based on true events, true characters. Is it worth checking out? Well, we're going to talk about that and much more. Bombshell was directed by Jay Roach and stars Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, and John Lithgow. A group of women decide to take on Fox News head Roger Ailes and the toxic atmosphere he presided over at the network. What's going on, everybody? Elliot back again with a brand new movie review, and today we're talking about Bombshell, a film I was very excited to see, especially when I saw who was in this film and also seeing how they were going to handle this subject matter, and I'm very excited to talk about it in this spoiler-free review. Before we dive into it, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that bell so you can stay up to date with all my latest movie reviews, TV reviews, unboxings, giveaways, and all the fun things we do on this very channel. And if and when you've seen Bombshell, I want to know what you thought of this film. Let me know your pros, your cons. What did you think of the performances, and do you see any awards being given to this film come Oscar season? So with that being out of the way, again, spoiler-free thoughts, but I want to give you my initial thoughts going to the film. So I saw the trailer a couple months ago, saw, again, Nicole, Margot, and Charlize playing these characters, playing this real-life character outside of Margot Robbie, John Lithgow playing Roger Ailes. I just was like, I don't care how long this film is, when it comes out, I'm definitely checking out, and I got the chance to see it early, and I'm here to talk about it, so let's break it down. First and foremost, as I had mentioned, the cast. This film is heavily based on those performances. Again, you could have gotten to a routine if it was any other actors playing Megyn Kelly, playing Roger Ailes, playing, Gretchen, like Nicole Kidman's character did. You could have had other actors kind of doing a imitation of those characters, but you do not get that in this role. Yes, there are certain mannerisms and things that are said by these characters that remind you of those real life characters, but I thought that these actors took the role and really kind of put their spin on it and delivered a great performance. Starting with the first and foremost, kind of, I would say, the lead of the movie, or maybe supporting actress, because I would say maybe Margot Robbie might be the lead. I'm not sure, but I'm going to start off with Charlize Theron, who is, we all know that she can become a chameleon in these roles. Think of Monster, you think of other films that she's been in, but this has to be up there as far as the transformation, to see the prosthetics or the makeup or whatever they did to make her look almost spot on to Megyn Kelly. And again, the way she spoke, the way she carried herself was very spot on, and it's almost kind of creepy how she does that in the best way possible when I say creepy. But man, Charlize Theron gives a performance of a year in my opinion. I have Lupita Nyong'o, I have Florence Pugh, I have so many other actresses that are up there, and man, I think Charlize Theron might have eclipsed a lot of those actresses because her performance in this film was stunning and flawless, and I cannot recommend this movie enough just for the simple fact of seeing her give the performance that she gives in this film. Megyn Kelly, she's a very interesting character in real life. I thought this film definitely kind of shed a certain light on her and presented her as kind of a hero in a sense, which she was in the subject matter that was being tackled in regards to the women speaking up against Roger Ailes and the sexual allegations. But there was also another side of Megyn Kelly in regards to some of the remarks she's made, some very inappropriate remarks she's made on television, about Santa Claus and many other things. So they definitely shined a light on that aspect, but not as much as they did as far as her coming up and speaking up to everything that Roger Ailes did and the sexual allegations. But I wish they would have shined a light on some other aspects of that character. But more or less, Charlize Theron did the best she could. And man, like I said, I would not be surprised if she's holding up an Oscar come next year. So other characters that stood out to me, of course, Nicole Kidman's always been a great actress, and she does a great job as Gretchen. Really the forefront, the woman that really spoke up first in this Roger Ailes case to take down this head of the Fox network. And man, I thought Nicole Kidman definitely had some very powerful scenes, very great moments, was great in and out throughout the entire scene. And I wish we would have got more of the three women in the film, but when you do see them on screen together, it was very dynamic. And they didn't even have to say words to just get the energy and the sense of the seriousness of their role in this film. And I really enjoyed Nicole Kidman. But one of the characters that really stood out to me, and this was based on not a true character, but a kind of an amalgamation of what I would imagine certain women in that position will go through, and that's Margot Robbie's character, who has been one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood, as well as a producer. She plays this character, Kayla, who's kind of a newcomer in the Fox News, and she goes at trying to get up and advance and network a certain way. She kind of uses her looks in a way, but she didn't know how far things were going to go, and I really felt sympathy for her character. And I would say between her Nicole Kidman and Charlize Theron, I really enjoyed her arc because, again, she wasn't based on a real-life character, but I would imagine, like I said, different characters were made into Kayla's character, and I thought she had, the most arc in the film, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if some people will consider her the lead of this movie, per se, even though I know her name's, like, at the bottom of, like, when you see the title cards, but I thought she really stood out, and again, this is just another thing to put on Margot Robbie list as far as great performances as Kayla. And then John Lithgow, man, they always say that actors should never look at their characters as a good guy or a bad guy. But I don't know. With John Lithgow in this character, there's not a lot of things to like about Roger Ailes. No disrespect to someone that's passed away a couple years ago. But, man, there's everything now, from movies to shows, touching on the stuff that he did and the stuff that came out about him. And it is just some really dark and disturbing and just inappropriate things, and just things that you just feel so sympathetic about the women that went through that, and the people that kind of went along with it. I really like what this film did, and that goes to the direction, the writing of this film. And I'm going to talk about the director here in a bit, but it goes to show you how the complicity of certain people just being compliant and just kind of going along with the stuff that they know isn't right. And the film definitely shines a light on that, how some people, men and women, but in particular in this case, how women came to the defense of Roger Ailes, and how far they went to cover him up, and thinking of, the word loyalty was moved around a lot. So I thought that this film did a good job of shining a light on that. And that goes to the very surprise for me, was Jay Roach. Let me go over a couple of Jay Roach's titles as far as his filmography as a director. Austin Powers, International Man of Spy. Austin Powers, The Shy Who Shagged Me. Meet the Parents. Austin Powers, Goldmember. Meet the Falkers. Dinner with Schmucks. The Campaign. Just to name a few films. So this guy has a history of comedic movies, and there's definitely elements of some funny moments in the film that were very organic, but I did not expect that from a director like that. And again, that just goes for me, because I always say these comedy directors have that side of them. We saw earlier this year in the Todd Phillips doing the Joker. He really takes this subject matter and handles it pretty well, in my opinion. And I'm very excited to see Jay Roach and continuing this path of more serious type of roles. Again, he's a great comedy director, but he does a really good job of directing this film and handling this tough subject matter. And I really applaud Jay Roach in that. So some other things that I really took away from it, again, was not only the performances, the direction, but again, this film moves pretty quickly in regards to, it's like under 2 hours. They said what they had to say. They gave you the story that they wanted to tell, and I thought they did a good job in that. Now, kind of transitioning into my criticisms, with that quick pace, I really did, my biggest criticism of this film, and I had a couple of them, but one in particular was I wish we would have spent time more with certain storylines. Again, we have, honestly, between Margot Robbie, Nicole Kidman, and Charlize Theron's character, they all could have just had their own movie, and they could have just focused on their individual storylines. So that goes to tell you how rich and how fascinating their stories are. But we probably spent about half the movie on Nicole's situation, the other half on Charlize Theron, and the other on Margot. And every time we would get into a certain, this is really interesting, we would go to this character, go to this character. So I wish we would have had a little bit more time, and that's where I think, like a show like I reviewed the morning show, that touches on the different aspects and different characters, and you spend a little bit more time with those characters and get a better idea what their psyche's like, what their family dynamics like, what is this doing to their outside life, and which this film does. But I wish we would have spent a little bit more time with those female characters and really dive deep into the psyche of the psyche of what they were going through that time, and the financial stress, the family situation. Their family relies on them to stay on the network and to kind of keep things under the rug. So I really wish we would have dove deeper into those aspects. But outside of that, the film is well-paced. It's well-directed. The performances are phenomenal, and I really recommend you all checking out this film. I'm going to give Bombshell a 4 out of 5. It's coming out to theaters this Friday. It's having its worldwide release. It had a limited release last week, but I really recommend you all checking it out, even though I know we got Rise of Skywalker. But again, I would recommend you all checking this film when you get a chance. So again, 4 out of 5 for me. Let me know what you all thought of this film. Like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell so you can stay up to date with my content. Follow me on all my social media accounts, including Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, all that fun stuff. So definitely follow us there. Keep an eye out for us. Rise of Skywalker reviews, TV reviews, and many more things coming pretty soon. Thank you all for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.